Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Big Baby Daddy Cast. I am your host, Josh Vasquez, joined by my co-host, Giovanni Pizzappo,
Geo. Whoop, whoop.
Katie Heisenberg,
Hello.
and Josh Sims calling in from outer space. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing good. I am approaching the sun, and it's hot as hell up here.
Approaching the sun and it's hot as hell. So you really went with it when I said that you were calling from outer space.
I did. You had to, give everybody something to look at.
Yeah, well, we can't look at you, which is okay.
A good
it's
thing.
good. In some aspects, it is good that we can't look at you, but we miss you and we hope to see you soon.
We're sucking up.
This is episode 13, guys. So 13 is usually an unlucky number, but I feel pretty lucky about today's episode. I don't know why. I have a feeling. What do you think, G?
I don't know. It's pretty unlucky though.
You think?
A few months ago, I realized that in tall skyscrapers, they don't have a 13th floor.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't have on the elevators. They don't even have the number 13. Like, you go from 12 to 14. That's pretty
Isn't
extreme.
that like the same thing with like the hotels? Like there's a certain room number that they don't have. I can't think of it right now. But
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, they're like really superstitious.
this is great podcast like material. Like I could feel and I could hear people snoring right now. So how about we turn up the fucking the happiness dial. Talk about things that's been going on in our lives. Katie, we'll start with you. Welcome back. We didn't think you were gonna come back. We didn't think you were gonna join us again on the Crazy Baby Daddy Cast, but you made it. So how are you and what's been going on?
I'm good. Not much. Like I said before, I lead a very boring life, so nothing really exciting. Just waiting for my wonderful boyfriend, who may or may not work for the government, to get a transfer.
And the camera, too. Apparently.
Exactly.
Well, I have the camera. It's just there.
I'm
Time to
using
see
it.
that blue skull.
Yeah, that's like saying, "Oh, I have the money bank, but it's not there." Speaking of things that are not there, Jay, how are you doing? What have you been up to?
Other than work and stuff like that, like how Katie just said, just waiting on a transfer so I can get the hell back.
Back to life. Back
So-
to reality.
Back to Earth. Back to Earth. Actually, yes, it would be back to reality.
So you're like stuck in limbo right now, right? It's like you're waiting for this transfer to go back home, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we hope that you can get home soon. And again, this is great stuff for the podcast. Gio, I hope you have a better story to tell than disembodied head and no video camera over here.
Well, where should I start? Well, everything's been pretty good. Just finished my first class back to school. So I'm waiting to see what my grades are. I think I did pretty well. Just got to get back to the rhythm.
I just feel fantastic.
Oh, thanks for the moral support. And pretty much just staying busy, working, and taking care of my daddy duties.
Daddy duties. It's great that you mentioned daddy duties because I have something to tell you guys.
What does she do?
Guess what? My daughter is a dick.
Wow.
Wait, but before you judge me, you have to understand. You have to understand the context of that phrase. Okay.
Yeah, save yourself.
I
You
gotta
just
get
lost 5,000 viewers.
But I'm gonna gain 10,000 when I drop this knowledge. So I realize that having an only child is not a good thing. Like I'm getting to that stage to where this little shit is spoiled beyond like. Look, even she's got a little bit flustered that I called her a little shit. I love her to death. She is the purpose of my being. She's the reason why I still exist as a person. However, she takes after me in the worst way. So she gets up from her nap. She has all these toys on her bed, like stuffed animals. Like she wants to go to sleep with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and the fucking pony and Elsa and Anna and all these little toys. got it in his castle of a room with every freaking My Little Pony toy you could imagine. She's living it up. She's like, if that were me, I'd have like people feeding me grapes and on a big, king size bed with people with those big fans that she's got the life. So she wakes up from her nap pissed off. Okay, fine. Maybe she had a bad dream. So I'm like, come, be with daddy. Be with daddy. Come to daddy's room. She's like, okay, let's go to daddy's room. Crying hysterically, snot all over me. I'm being there comforting. I'm the comforter of her life right now. So I turned to her and I says, what can daddy do? What can daddy do to make you feel better? And she looked at me dead in the eyes. She said, go away. And I'm like,
Wow.
do you just want me to just like go? She's like, yeah. Just have a face full of tears and snot and all kinds of shit. 2 years old. 2 years old. She says, go
Terrible
away.
twos, brother.
Yeah, that's a dick move. I don't even care if you're a grown up or not. Like, that's a dick move. Like, I give her everything she wants. I comfort her. So guess what? This is the conclusion to the story, and then we can move on. I'm gonna have a kid, another one, to spite that. I'm like, oh, you see how good you had it with your fucking Elsa doll and your ponies and your big ass bed and all this shit? Now you gotta cut that shit in half. And then when I ask you that question again, what can daddy do? You can say, give me half my shit back. So, that's my story.
And I hate to break it to you, but the terrible twos, they don't ever end. Mine's 16, and it's still going on. So
she tells you to go
you
away.
have all that time to look. Yeah.
How do you?
And my little girl just turned 10.
And she does that too, Jay?
Yeah.
She just fucking tells you to go away.
Yeah.
So either I have to get used
still
to
alive?
it and just deal with it, or have another kid and just see where that goes.
Unless you get another girl, then you're screwed.
Because I can understand if they're 2 years old. All right, I felt a certain way. I'm not gonna cry. Well, I didn't cry in front of her, but at what point do you say it's okay to just like throw one out there, like just a jab, set the tone? You say go away. Nah, I'm not going away. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30 years old. She's 2. I can't two-piece her. I have to go away. Well, I don't have to go away, but
Well, you can give her a half. You just give her a little karate chop to the throat, and then like wait a few minutes till she catches her breath, and then you can re-ask her the question, and I'm sure she'll give you a different answer.
But she'll realize that
That's
that
really
was the answer that she didn't want to say.
Yeah.
So that answer got me a karate chop to the throat. So maybe if I change my answer, I'll get a lollipop or something.
Well, either that or it could backfire because then it'd be like, Daddy, go away. Now, guess what? Daddy is going away.
Damn, that got dark. Welcome to the Big Baby Dark Daddy cast. Well, so the point of the story is 2-year-olds can be dicks, but they're lovely, but they can be dicks. Go away.
Yeah.
That was... So, those of you who watch the show probably are wondering, hey, where's that Elvis Presley Puerto Rican lookalike? Mr. Manny is knee-deep in... I was going to make that a really nasty, dirty joke, but he's knee-deep in work. So he has to take care of his jobs, his various jobs. Make of that what you will. He's earning extra money for his family. He's earning big baby daddy money. Yeah, but we miss Josh. Jesus, I miss you too. We miss Manny, and hopefully he'll be on the show next time. So, unless anybody has anything further, any alibis, anything you want to say, Katie, you looking like you're smiling a little bit there. Nothing going on your end. I love your feng shui going on. Your whole disembodied head with the
Thank you.
the ceiling backdrop.
I work hard. I worked really hard. I had to jerry rig.
It took her 2 hours to do that.
Yeah, I had to make something to where the connect was up higher because it was chest height, and I was like, no, that's not.
That's
No.
for Big Daddy
So
Daddy Cast Premium. We need to
yeah,
fix that because that's where the money is. You know.
that's why you guys brought me on.
No, I swear to
see.
God, it's not.
You didn't tell her, Josh?
Plus, we're gonna have Josh do a podcast with his shirt off, but him with that third nipple was just it wasn't working. So
That's premium.
Told him to go get it looked at.
It's not a mole, Jay. I'm telling you, it's not a mole. If you touch it and it gets hard, it's called a nipple. That's 2 podcasts in a row that we were talking about nipples, by the way.
It is, isn't it?
Too.
That's just.
Speaking of nipples, game addiction. Those 2 things go together.
Well, that was an interesting
That was
segue.
very. Did it feel forced because it was?
A little.
Yeah.
So
Slightly.
yeah, I mean, getting into game addiction is not really something that you could just kind of like segue into. It could be a good or bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Some people make a living playing video games obsessively. You know, like in 2016, you have people that play fighting games and Call of Duties and all these other freaking first-person shooters for money, whether it's legal, illegal, whatever. But I want to talk about more of like a gaming addiction when we were younger. So, Gio, I'm going to start out with you because you look like you are a type of person that would obsess over a specific game that it might not have been too hard, or maybe it's just a game that you liked playing. But tell me a game from your childhood that you obsessively, like you could say, I was addicted to this game. You put hours and hours into it.
I'm gonna have to say Donkey Kong.
Really? Which one?
The one with Donkey
SNES?
Kong. No, Super Nintendo.
SNES.
No, I'm sorry, Nintendo 64.
Okay.
The one that had the little monkey behind him. You follow him around everywhere. Yeah, that one. I used to play that like religiously because I till this day I still haven't beat the damn game.
But you obsessed over it. Like you were in.
Yeah.
You'd be like in the middle of class thinking about. I can't wait to go home and play some Donkey Kong.
Yeah, like if I got stuck on a stage, like I sit there and be trying to figure out like, okay, I did this, I haven't done this. Let me try this when I get home, and then I get home and I forget what I was thinking about, and then I have to figure it out all over again, and then yeah, it's like the whole cycle.
So what was it? What broke you from your addiction to Donkey Kong? Now we're talking about something that like an addiction that's like smoking. Like when it's not around, you gotta have it, and when it is around, you feel at ease. So, what was it that broke you from Donkey Kong? Like, what was it? Was it another game? Was it?
I think when I got my Dreamcast.
Okay. So you were like.
I think I was like, Diddy what? Diddy Kong what? And I just went straight to like Soul Calibur, and I just went on.
So it was just like a change of like, this is something better now.
Yeah. Okay. You know, like after a while, something new comes out, and then you just kind of like you evolve with the different type of technology and games that are coming out, and then kind of just like if you play something now that you used to play, that you used to love playing, like you look at it and you're just like, I used to love this game, like I used to play this shit all the time, like what the hell was I thinking? You know, like when they came out with the Halo anniversary, how you were able to press the select button and it'll show you the graphics from when it came out for the original Xbox, and it's like, what the hell? I used to think this was like freaking amazing, and then when you look at it now, it's just like it's not even in the same league.
Yeah, it's weird how time changes your perspective on things, because I've done the same thing with that very game. It's like, hey, Halo's coming out. I'm a big Halo fan, as you can tell by Mr. Chief standing behind me.
The other side.
The other side. Okay. He's somewhere back there. He's watching over me. He's looking out for Jake. Me, whatever.
Stalking
you.
you.
He's like, let me know.
I think he's moving.
But,
With the lamp.
Yeah, and you go back to games like that, and you're like, how the shit did I think this was like? I mean, it's just, how did you think this was entertaining? The controls are all like clunky, and it's like, yeah, well, it was good. It was good at the time, but now not so much anymore. What about you, Katie? Well, what's a game that you obsessed over?
I didn't really obsess over it. Like, I could take it or leave it.
The first step is admitting that you have a problem.
Probably Sonic. Trying to get them freaking gold rings drove me nuts.
Which Sonic was this one?
That's
Oh, very
I.
first one.
Yeah, probably. Whichever one came with the gaming
That
console.
was
That's
the
the one it
Genesis
was.
version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I said before, I wasn't too big on gaming when I was younger. I did it a little bit,
Right.
and just recently I've gotten, well, not recently, but like after my daughter was born, I kind of got into some gaming, but nothing when I was younger that I got addicted to.
Did you feel like you had to get every single coin, and it was always
Yes.
that one that just lingers somewhere, and you're like you can't get it for
Yes.
nothing? I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
Like when the sweat
Yeah.
starts to creep up in your back, and you're just like, you're like, all right, this is a video game. I shouldn't be feeling like this.
Just got serious.
Like when you want to throw the controller through the TV, you need to kind of put it down and step away.
By the way, I want somebody to write in
Yes.
an email to us. And if anybody out there who's listening to this podcast has ever broken something in the act of playing a video game, I don't know if I've done. I think I've done it. I think I've broken a couple
All right,
controllers.
what do you want me to write?
Yeah, because like that oh fuck moment. Like, what did I just do? That just seems so hilarious to me. Like, let's talking about we're talking about the ring. I'm trying to get the ring, and you get so close, but you can't. You wish you could double jump. You always just get so close, and then the 89th,
It's like the top of his hair will touch it too.
and
The
it
top,
won't. Yeah,
that's just
we'll grab it. Like, have you ever tried to grab something with your hair? Leave Sonic alone, bro. Anyway, I was saying, that gets you so mad. You take the controller and just like smash it or throw it to the TV. I've seen videos like that on YouTube, or
Hmm.
whatever, when somebody breaks their shit. But like genuinely, just like, oh man, I really should have toned down my anger management right there. Like when you get out of the car in the middle of the highway and you're about to beat somebody's ass, and you're like, oh, I could totally go to prison for this. Let me not do that. So, Jay, I'm going to answer the question for you. I believe that you have a gaming addiction, and we have all congregated here to walk you through the process of.
This is an
This is an
intervention.
intervention. That was the fucking word I was looking for. Thank you, Gio.
You're welcome.
Your gaming
the hot
addiction
chocolate donuts.
is GTA 5.
Yeah.
I think
No.
that you will play that game until probably the day that you die.
Well, if you're talking about when we were younger, you're wrong. But I do love the game. Yes, I do. No, but the game that I always got pissed off on, Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Okay. Did you ever beat Mike Tyson?
No, I couldn't even get past King Hippo.
He was like the easiest one. He was dumb slow.
Oh wait, no. Wait, no. It was the one after him.
What, Soda Popinski?
Damn, I can't remember his name. Yes,
How do I remember that name?
or something like that.
Wow.
I was like,
Memory.
please, it's been a while since I played that damn. Because after I played that thing all the damn time, and then I just couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat it. My stepbrother did, and he beat it. I was like, you son of a bitch. And then he doesn't listen to this. It's all right.
You don't beep when I say my daughter's a dick, but you beep him when you say son of a bitch. Jesus.
Oh, sorry. That was for earlier.
But no, and then finally, I just got so pissed off, and then because I didn't jump from the Nintendo to Super Nintendo or nothing like that. I mean, I played it, at my cousin's house or whatever, but I jumped from PlayStation or regular Nintendo to PlayStation. I was like, you know what? Fuck this game. It goes in the closet with the whole setup, and then started playing PlayStation.
Okay.
I haven't touched it since.
So, does anybody here know anybody in their lives or friends that were seriously addicted? Like, I'm talking about, like, we have pretty, like, not even, I wouldn't even call it addictions. Like, I would say the short little obsessions over these games that we want to beat. But have you ever guys known anyone? That fucking sentence was ridiculous. Have you known anyone to be really addicted to any type of video game? Like, you call them and
Personally,
personally, like I've known a couple people that were really into the World of Warcraft. My brother, for example, man, he played that game a lot. And it's like, I played it, dicked around with it for a little bit, but I don't see how people can like get into that game and play it for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 years. Continue to play the same game. I don't know how.
Did you ever see that YouTube video with the kid that he's obsessed with it, and like his older brother would go upstairs and make a different account and start attacking him and stuff, and
I
he's like
saw that.
downstairs screaming?
I remember
It's
seeing, and I'm pretty
hilarious.
sure people out there who've been on the internet for quite a while. I remember seeing this video about a kid that his parents closed his account or something. They told him that he couldn't play World of Warcraft, and this kid literally flips his shit, like to the point where he's slamming his head on his bed. He takes a remote control at one point and tries to shove it up his ass.
It's the
Yes.
same
It's
kid.
hilarious. Like
You know,
that is the addiction I'm talking about. That somebody just takes your crack away. Like no more methamphetamine for you, and you want to
I'm
shove
gonna
a
watch
remote
it
up your.
after this.
You ever been so
there was.
you ever been so pissed you ever to shove a remote up your ass?
Nah, I'm good. But Jay, Josh, I think I showed you this one before. Katie, I know I showed you. And I swear to God, if he's a viewer, I am so sorry to call you out on this, but it is true. It's not that hard to find on YouTube. It's called Angry Halo Guy. This kid gets so not even a kid. He's like, I don't know. He looked about my age, if not older now. But he gets so pissed off at the game. He's thrown the controllers. He's thrown the Xbox 360. He's punched the damn TV.
Damn.
He's punched the door. He's punched the wall. I'm like, oh my god!
I think
And all you hear is him screaming at the top of his lungs. His face is beet red, and even though the video is so far away from him, you can see the vein on the side of his head just pulsating.
so. I think that there's a point where video game addiction kind of shakes hands with, like, I don't want to say mental instability, but I want to say maybe anger problems, to where like if you take away the video game or if you do something to sabotage somebody's video game. I know, Gio, you showed me a couple times, uh, a couple videos where people just mess with each other playing video games and they just
Hmm.
lose their mind. In fact, I will go a step further and say that there are certain things that certain people might do while you're playing a video game that may cause you to turn off the game at inappropriate times, like during the middle of a match. I'm just saying,
Take a grenade.
Hypothetically.
hypothetically speaking, it may or may not have happened. Um, so that's pretty much the nostalgia portion. Think about a game or a series of games that you used to play incessantly and just you'd always be thinking about it. I mean, for me, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I used to play a lot of Halo, and I used to just not Halo the game specifically, but the multiplayer. I would just want to play it all the time. Like there would be games just coming out, and all I would want to do is play Halo to the point where I was tracking my stats, I was tracking my hit percentages, and all this. Even before Call of Duty introduced all that percentages and KD spread, I was looking at all that stuff and make sure that I was higher than the next one, or I would get the next level, and I would be really genuinely upset if I dropped down in a level or something. I think Halo 3, you go up to level 50, and it would track that way. But that's good stuff, right? Gaming addiction. If you know somebody who's addicted to games, please have them visit thegamermind.com and listen to the Big Baby Daddy Cast. And they can get a free hat. Okay. It's not free. $19.95. Oh yeah, and the shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it. Thegamermind.com. Okay.
Order now while supplies last.
this this is the supplies that you see. Hopefully, with more viewers. Oh, speaking of fucking viewers, we want to put out there. We had a major milestone the last couple days where we finally hit 2,000 unique viewers on the website. So 2,000 people
Yay!
had came to the website and showed us support, and we want to thank you for that. And we've only been around for, what was it, 4 or 5 months now? Not even a year. So thank you. If you're a listener, if you're a viewer, All we can say is,
Reader?
if you're a reader, all we can say is we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, until forever. So
Tell your friends.
yeah,
Mm.
we're watching you. So on to our main topic. I'll let
Wow.
Katie take the reins on this one. Our main topic, the title is introvert in the real world, extrovert in the game world. Okay, we're going to talk about antisocial behavior in real life versus social behavior in the gaming space. So, Katie, you want to start us off with this topic?
With the topic, okay. Like, how do you want me to start? You're throwing me out there
Again,
again.
okay.
You're throwing me out there
So, how do you
again.
feel about people that are antisocial by nature? Like they don't go to
Like
parties,
me.
like you.
Hmm.
They don't go to parties. Whenever they're in large crowds, they feel kind of awkward. They don't know how to start a conversation. They don't know how to begin talking to people in the sense that, oh hey, what's your name? How are you doing? What do you do for a living? Yada yada yada. We're friends now. People that do that. How do you feel about them not being able to do that, but in the game world, when they take on a persona of whatever character that's there, automatically now they can interact with other people, they can start conversations, they can go on podcasts.
Um,
She's blushing.
well, I am blushing. Because you just described me exactly.
Oh,
Like, and because I think it's easier for people to get on games and do it because you don't get judged. And if you do get judged, you don't have to talk to those people again. So I think it's a lot easier to do that. Plus, online, you can make up anything you want to. You could be like a millionaire or something, and a beauty queen and you're butt fucking ugly or something. You know what I mean? So you forgot to beat me there.
Beep.
So
not fucking.
Oh, sorry. I'll be the beeping guy.
so yeah, I think it's way easier.
So, Gio, do you think that um, physicality has a lot to do with how people are viewed in? Because this is what we're taking away. We're not taking away the personality to an extent. We're not taking away the voice, and in some instances, we're not even taking away what a person would admit to. We're basically just removing the physicality part with the actual person to person interaction, to where I'm standing in front of you and I'm speaking to you. Do you think that has a lot to do with it? The physical nature of a person's maybe self image?
I think so. I think they're self-conscious of the way they look or how they present themselves, that they feel like either people are going to judge or they're just not going to accept them for who they really are rather than just, through, gamer chat or, online.
Okay. So, Jay, do you think that the reason why a lot of people are antisocial or more antisocial outside is because they already have a preconceived thought of, well, this person may not like me because they're looking at me physically rather than knowing me first as a person?
Yeah, that could be. I mean, because I know, and I suffer from this too a little bit. You also got people that have like very high anxiety. You got people that can't talk in front of big groups or nothing like that. They're better at one on one. Prime example with me. I hate talking in a big group, but when we first did the podcast, when we first started doing a video, uh, at first I was thinking, holy shit, I'm talking to, not only am I talking to you, the three of you. Well, Katie wasn't on the first one, but when we did that one, and I'm thinking, shit, talking to these guys, and then also I'm talking to whoever's watching on the outside,
Thousands.
and that's why I kept going, kept fumbling on my words and shit. I'm still doing it, but you got people that are like that in real life, and they can't put that fear behind them, and it's more easier for them to do that on a game, either they're playing with their friends because they already know, they already know who their friends are, shit like that, or they don't have to risk seeing them. So who really gives a shit what they think?
Right, and then because they're making, I think the term friends, especially when you get in a position that we are in 2016, where Facebooks, Instagrams, Twitters, a friend now is not like a friend back in the 80s and 90s. A friend
Oh
is a
hell no!
person that you went to their house. A friend is a person that you went to, you went to school with. Maybe you hung out on the
Yeah,
weekends with. But now a friend can be entirely digital, which take it or leave it. Me personally, I don't consider you my friend until we have either broken bread together or we
Speak on a
speak on a
regular
regular basis. You
basis.
know me, I know you, stuff like that. So, Katie, how do you feel gaming has helped in that antisocial manner? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you knew the type of person that you were before video games, before you started playing GTA 5, whatever it is that you play. It's irrelevant at this point.
Mhm.
Do you feel that you are now less socially awkward in front of people, or has it gone up, or has it stayed the same?
I think in different situations, like if I'm still in a large group, I still have trouble, but I think it's helped me more because if not, I wouldn't be able to do even stuff like this. I would still be so awkward and fumbling, like Josh was saying, and you know, messing up everything.
And I also,
Because like you were saying about the physical side, yeah, and that's true because nowadays you're judged by everything. The way you
That's true.
look, the way you talk, the way you dress, and
hell,
everything.
even the
And
way you eat.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, and I'm still not over it. That's why I'm just ahead right now because I still have insecurities. And that's why I was so nervous about doing the first podcast because I thought I was going to be on camera. But now it's gotten a little bit easier. I'm still not there just yet, but it's gotten a little easier.
so I think that you know we also have to remember, and the reason why I picked this topic because of your recommendation, we have to remember that video games is not just about the game. Video game is now a culture. It is not anymore just about the Nintendo, the Genesis. It's not just about being a 13-year-old kid and playing in your den by yourself for 3 or 4 hours. Video games has now become a culture. So basically, what we're doing now, whether we like it or not, we're kind of spreading the culture. So there are probably tens of thousands of people that think just like you. I will go on the record right now and admit that I suffer from depression. I suffer from depression. I am socially awkward. I suffer from high anxiety, and it took a lot for me to understand the stuff in my life that led up to that point. But there's the silver lining is that it's not incurable. It's not like the cancer. It's not going to defeat you as a person. And by you coming on the podcast and Jay coming on the podcast and even Gio, we all have bullshit going on. I mean, that's just the way it is. And there's probably thousands of people that are out there that think just the same way. I mean, maybe going on a podcast and putting all the beans out for everybody to see isn't the right way to do it. But I think that by playing video games,
It
it
helps.
does help. It does help.
Hmm.
It helps because there are probably things that you used to do that you didn't do before, or you didn't think you could do before that you're doing now. And by you being on the podcast is, you know, and I don't want to make it seem like this big huge psychology lesson, but the most important takeaway from this conversation is that video games is a culture, and video games brings us together. Not to be all sappy, we talk about crazy shit, whatever, but and I appreciate the climate that we're making because we are all gamers. This could be an all gay podcast, or this could be a all Black Lives Matter podcast, or this could be an all Asian podcast. Those are cultures. The gay culture, the Asian culture, African American, everything. This is a video game podcast, and we're talking about social insecurities and social anxiety that we were able to overcome through the use of the gaming community, not just the games itself. So I think that's a very important takeaway from all this because if video games didn't exist, we wouldn't all be here. So, um,
That is true.
so Jay, do you think that gaming. Well, we know that gaming can help with social anxiety, but do you think it can have the ability to form bonds? Like, do you think that you can start a friendship in the gaming space that can manifest itself out into like the real world?
That's a tricky question. It can, but now, I mean, sorry, I'm a little sick here, guys, so forgive me. It can, but unfortunately now with the dangers that are present in this day and age now with the online shit, you have to be very careful. You know, you can be friends with somebody, halfway, like from New York to Florida, and be like, oh, hey, guess what? I'm going to come up to New York, blah blah blah. Let's meet up, and we'll go toss a beer back, or if you're of age, of course, and go toss a beer back, and next thing you're fucking face down in a ditch somewhere. It's just something you can have a bond, but you just have to make sure that you have to really pick and choose of who you want it to be an actual uh, physical bond
Yeah, I
with,
know,
a strong bond.
I see where you're coming from because Katie, this question is for you. Are you more likely to trust someone meeting them in person at like let's say a county fair or something like that, or online if we were just to meet, you were playing let's say Call of Duty or whatever, and I say, hey, what's going on? My name is Josh. Who are you more likely to trust? The person that you meet on the online space in the video game era, because you already know that in that realm you have at least one thing in common. You guys both like to play video games, so that's one thing that you guys can piggyback off of. Or you're more likely to trust somebody that comes up to you at a bar. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? I like your head.
I work very hard on my head. Oh, see, that's a tricky question too. Because if you meet them online and like the gaming, and it could lead to like exchanging names, you could also kind of, I don't want to say stalk them, but look them up online to see like, you know, how they are, if they have any, I don't know, records, I
Well,
guess.
we're not even taking it that far. Like, let's say, for example, we're playing a video game, and I say, "Oh, let's
Mhm.
let's party up." You're a good player.
Probably the meeting in person at the county fair or bar or whatever. I'd probably trust that person before somebody online,
Okay,
because you just, like Josh said, you just don't know.
said that.
Well, Jay
Now
said,
see,
sorry.
because see, I'm sorry to cut you off. Now see, I've done that, and Jay, you know who I'm talking about when I tell you
Yes, sir.
this because you played with them as well. When Modern Warfare 3 came out, I was in a real shitty ass lobby. Nobody else was on. And so, I'm playing by myself with a whole bunch of random people. I go into this one lobby, and me and this guy and this girl, we were actually pretty much holding our own. We were pretty much the only three talking in the lobby. So, it was like, shit. Well, let's get out of this lobby because these guys, are freaking horrible, and maybe we can find some other people. So, anyway, we're sitting there bullshitting, and this is after like a couple of days, of playing together, bullshit like
So
that.
you've already at
And I
that point
remember,
established a connection. Like you said, like listen, these guys are pretty chill. I'm gonna party up with them, and we're just gonna continue on playing Modern Warfare.
right? And the funny part is, you know, I remember I'm doing something outside, and I come back in. I'm like, holy crap, it's cold outside. And they're like, well, where are you at? I'm like, in New York, and they were like, in Illinois. I'm like, oh shit, I used to live there. Blah blah. They're from the same town I used to live in.
Nice. Okay.
So that right there, yeah, you can actually form a bond like that.
Which you did.
Based on
And you,
exactly.
you had a friendship, and this friendship lasted for X amount of time, and then just like in real life, friendships don't last forever. At least the only friendship that I've known that I can say that has lasted forever, excuse me, that has lasted a long time is my relationship with you, Jay, and even more so with Giovanni. But I've
Right.
had people in the online space where I've partied up with them and played with them, and then for whatever reason, they just kind of
Like kind of
fizzle
disconnected,
out. Yeah, they
right?
just kind of blink out of existence. And 9 times out of 10 is nothing really personal. It all depends on the game. Like maybe somebody is now
Yeah.
playing, the next Call of Duty. I can't afford it, or I've jumped from Destiny to Halo, and I don't play with those people anymore. That's not what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about like bonds that you have created that have spanned even further than just video games. Like you've actually met up and you've whatever happened as a result I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but what I'm saying is that just like you said, they were from your town. You met up with them probably, and you had some laughs, more good times than bad times. And for whatever reason, those bonds don't exist anymore. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, because the only one I know that actually formed a successful bond was Smokey and Spaz, if you remember
Right.
them. Those two are still friends. Me and Smokey are not
Right.
because of personal
Personal reasons,
reasons.
right?
Smokey is a gamer tag name.
Yeah.
He's not a
Yes.
drug dealer or anything.
No, he's
Just
definitely
throwing that out there.
not. Um,
Well, I didn't want to use his real name, so you might get,
No, that's good.
blood hurt. So,
Beep.
but,
so
but that right there is a prime example of if you're basically almost the exact same fucking person, then yeah, you can find someone out there like that to where you can actually hang out with.
cool. Okay. So we've covered that being a video gamer can help with social anxiety. Being a part of the video game culture can help with certain things. It's not going to be the cure all end all. Gio, this question is more towards you. If you listen to the podcast, you probably guys know where I'm going to go with this now. But now with the introduction of virtual reality, because it is coming, whether we want it to or not, you're going to be able to the senses, hearing, smelling, well, not smelling, hearing, touch, and other things are going to be more involved into the gaming space to where you're going to have, almost your full senses being able to interact with other people. Do you think that that will change the way that social anxiety or social awkwardness either gets better, gets worse, stays the same? What do you think, Ju?
I think personally, it all depends on the person. I think for a majority of people, I think it could definitely help them, progress to be able to be more social with people and more gatherings and stuff like that. For another group of people, it could probably just be a way to what's the word I'm looking for? A way to instead of having to be in social gatherings with physical people, this will be a way for them to kind of get that same feeling, but just without the anxiety of actually being physically there. Um, so I think it's a win-win for
Yeah,
some people
probably a
and
step
some
in the
people.
right direction if you
Yeah,
continue
yeah,
to work on
definitely.
those things on you. I feel that this is I'm going to try to say this as non nasty or was it triple X as possible, but I assume that the more that we go through this podcast with Katie, the more of her we will see when she's allowing herself to be more comfortable with. I don't give a fuck what these people think about me. I'm here to speak my mind. I'm here to push the female agenda, women power.
Women power.
Um,
We didn't play that, we didn't act that.
Well,
because
I think it's a little different for men and women, though,
okay,
of being judged and like how you perceive yourself. Because it's not. I mean, men get judged on their looks, but I don't think it's as bad as how as how women get
oh
judged.
yeah, you guys have it bad. I mean, this coming from a person, and Jake can attest to this as well. This coming from two people that used to work in a prison. So
May or may not.
well, may or may not. Sorry, Jay.
Oops.
We know firsthand how the balance is because, like it or not, men outweigh women in the gaming space. That's just the way it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any kind of documents that tell me otherwise. So there's a lot more men than there are women, and there are a lot more.
But those numbers are growing.
They are and that's a great thing. But the demographic is still 13 to
Yeah.
27, single male gamer. So the minute they see a female, you we do it to we are our own worst enemy, and that's why with this podcast and with the Gamer Mind, we're trying to tell people that are outside that demographic that there are people that are intelligent. There are people that like to talk about intelligent things as far as gaming is related, and that all maintains inside the gaming culture. We all.
Yeah, because there's three things that happen when you see a female gamer. Either it's accepted and everybody's cool with it, or it's like, oh, cool, a female, show me your titties. Or it's, oh, you're a girl, you can't play, get off of here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, immediately
Yeah,
attacked.
and you know what?
right.
It doesn't help that a lot of some people the gamers out there that utilize that as a way to bring in people to view their Twitch streams or to view their YouTube channels. Some gamers are attractive. Women gamers are attractive, and they over sexualize themselves to maintain a certain amount of viewers. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad.
Mhm.
Use what God gave you. It is what it is. That's perfectly fine. But understand that you're almost like a role model at that point for females. You know,
Right.
you're a role model in the sense that you've got people's attention. People are watching you, and now you're using, and you may or may not be using your sexuality to promote your video game. You could be horrible at the game that you're playing, but if you show a little bit of cleavage, boom, 16,000 viewers. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense that we are our own worst enemy, and a lot of people and a lot of journalists won't touch this topic because they don't want people to stop listening to them and watching them. But I think it's very important because I have a little girl and I want her to start playing video games, and I don't want her to think that, well, in order for people to watch me play video games, I have to show them my breasts or I have to be over sexualized or things like that. So, you know,
And there's a difference between being a female that games and being a female gamer, because I think there's a big difference
absolutely,
too.
absolutely. And I think the stigma is that a female gamer has this she's not attractive, she's not intelligent, or she's a nerd. I think all those words have to go away, and I think we just have to
Yeah.
focus on the person,
Right.
even though we're all beautiful. Do you see this face? America, the internet. This doesn't happen overnight. The serious shit took years by myself. But I hope you love our knowledge. Okay, so a little bit of a shameless plug. Now that we got the main topic out of the way, and we can all stretch and let it hang out. Not too much though. Gio, I'm talking to you.
That's a premium. That's a premium
That's the
stuff.
premium XXX, the Gamer Minds. So right now we have another Gamer Mind. I'm not cutting that because that was pretty funny. We have another Gamer Mind Originals. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but if you haven't, it's on this section of the site under Gamer Mind Originals, and it's finished the story. Okay, so this story that I put together, it's a short story that I wrote, and I want you guys to finish the story. Everybody that's out there, I want you to go online, thegamermind.com, go to the Gamer Mind Originals, and finish the story. The story is about. It's really simple. And where you take it is what's going to eventually culminate into a published copy that you will be able to be credited on. You'll get a whole box of this so you can give it to your friends and your family. That we're going to do, we're going to put it together, and you send us your finished, unedited copy of the end of the story, and we will edit it for you, put it together. And like I said, we'll publish it. We'll give you rights to what we're putting up on there. And I've had these stories in my brain for years now, and now I'm actually putting it out there, and they're not festering on my hard drive or in some notebooks that I have underneath my bed. So basically what the story is about a little girl who was in a car accident with her family. She was horribly burned. Both her parents died, and as a result, she ended up in a mental hospital for children. So she's maybe, I would say, about 9 or 10, and she's in the mental institution. The mental institution name is Crochet. One of the things that the mental institution does is they do recreation day. They go on the bus, they go around the little town, and they see the sights. Maybe they go to the aquarium, maybe they go to this. This time they happen to go out into the wilderness, and little Isabella, the protagonist of the story, wanders away from the school bus. She goes to a cave, and she finds a beautiful young girl, and she sits and she has conversations with. Okay, that beautiful young girl is her sanity. That's part of her sanity that she lost after the accident. Okay, so she's struggling with her own emotions. She's struggling with her physical deformities. She's struggling with her, the horrible burns to her face and all her body. She's lost all her hair, and now she walks into a cave and she sees this young girl whom she used to be, and that part of her sanity is trying to link back up with her mentally damaged part of her brain. So it's more of like a psychological thriller if you want to take it in that direction. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. So you finish the story. What do you want to see the story go? You let us know. And what's on the site right now is a stepping point. You take it from there wherever you want to take it. Send us in your submissions. We'll look it over. We'll edit it for you. So
Now, Jay, because I don't know if they actually looked at it or they probably don't know, but maybe explain to them, do they have to sign up or do they have to keep it clean or they just, add in the occasional, shit bomb or anything like
you can
that?
take the story wherever you want to take the story. The whole premise of the Gamermind Originals, the development stimulus on the Manny side and the finish the story on my side is if you were ever watching a movie, if you were ever playing a video game, if you were ever reading a book, and you said, well, this is the end of the book, I want to see it go further, I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell the story of where the character goes from here. Or if you were ever playing a video game and you're saying, this story sucks, it could have went this way. And you know what? You take it that way. You add to the story, and whatever you want to throw shit bombs in there. You want to keep it clean. You want to just nothing that's too obscene. And we'll all go over the submissions. So we will double, triple, and quadruple check it that it doesn't go into territory that we don't want to be mixed in with. It's I don't want to say it's a competition, but we want to pick the best story. We want to tell the best story, and we want the users to the site
To flow right.
to make it flow right and to make it so that everybody gets a piece of the pie. So
See, now you know why I do my roleplay sites.
exactly, which we would like to see on the site as well, but you've been coveting it like a little baby. So hopefully we can get an outlet for you to put up on the site from there. So
I'll add it.
hopefully, so. Hi. How are you? You want to say hello to everybody? Yes. Okay. Say hi.
Hi, beautiful.
What's your name? She said her name is Genevieve. This is the second time on the podcast. She's been on. How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine.
Hi.
Say hi to everybody.
Mom.
That's
Hi,
a walk.
Daddy.
Hi, everybody. Okay. Daddy's going to finish up now. He's going to go play with the litter, okay?
Okay.
Can I have a kiss? I love you.
Hi.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, you see, she doesn't want you to go away.
And we're back.
Hey, welcome back.
Speaking of Halo, we're going to go right into the news now as we wind down from the Big Baby Daddy cast. Some touching news from the makers of Halo, 343 Industries. So recently, there've been a lot of updates to the Halo 5 multiplayer, and one of those updates is a map. So we got map packs, we have new skins for the weapons, we have new call signs, all that type of stuff. And one of the things that the Halo community was able to do is, and I'll read you from the community page, was there was a gamer who had lost both his daughters in a fire, tragic accident. And with the release of this new map pack, they were able to, well, you know what? I'm just going to read this from the Halo Waypoint community page. Quote, last month we learned about a community member's tragic loss. Adam, a.k.a. the Caesared Spartan, and his wife Rebecca lost their daughters Trinity and Lena when their lives were claimed by an electrical fire in their family home. As a father, I can only imagine the heartache and pain caused by this. In the days following the tragedy, it was inspiring to see the Halo community come together to support Adam and Rebecca in a variety of ways. In honor of Adam's family and his daughters, Trinity and Lena, Lena, I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, we've created the Spartans Never Walk Alone pack. The pack contains the True Light emblem, which is named after the first initial of each of his daughters' names, and is the first animated emblem to come to Halo 5, which me and Gio are now sporting.
Yeah.
My gamer tag is LLXX Mercy XXLL, and Gio's is
LLXX Onyx ONYX XXLL.
okay. So we both have those symbols, and basically, all players have received this pack as part of the month free update. They've also included special features in the new arena map Torque. As players look up and scan the stars above, the names Trinity and Lena will be visible in the night sky. So basically, what they did was they saw this guy, tragic accident. It was a fire. He lost two daughters, which I can't even imagine. Like I don't even
Yeah.
want to imagine what happened. But the community came together, and we were on the map the other day, and we both looked up and we saw the names. So it was so surreal to see that going down. And as soon as we were able to get the Trinity map pack emblem, we put that on. So if you guys want to check us out on Halo 5, those were our screen names. And I think that was, as far as news goes for this week, I think that was probably one of the best things I've ever heard come out of the gaming community. So kudos to
Yeah, it's a great way to
it's like immortalizing them in a game.
yeah.
You know, it's
You never
I just
hear
hope they
about that
carry it
ever.
on afterwards.
right because that stuff costs money to do. I mean, it's not that it's free, and for them to do that, and now it's just like if we were to put up a memorial of a statue of something, whatever. They took that upon themselves, and that was pretty cool. So kudos to 343 for doing that. Far Cry Primal is out. It's got a 7.77 on Metacritic. I played Far Cry 3. I thought it was great. This one just has no guns and animals. I don't know. What do you guys think about Far Cry? Anybody play Far Cry?
I've
I
never
haven't.
played it.
I've been trying to get into it. I want to purchase it hopefully soon. Try it out. It looks interesting. Like I don't know. I'm really into first person, that's what it is, and I don't know about the whole bow and arrow thing, but yeah, I think I could probably get into it maybe. See, I
Cool.
think I'm Tarzan and shit.
Yes. Tarzan indeed. Guys, guess what?
What?
Well,
Microsoft has their own version of virtual reality. Well,
OMG.
it's alternate reality. Okay, so it's kind of like you put these glasses on, right? And then there's a box, and in that box you see the things that are out there, but then they put things in there, like from the computer, right? Does it sound cool?
what?
It sounds real weird. Yeah,
Weird.
all those weirds. This development kit, so before a console comes out, they get a dev kit. That dev kit allows developers to make stuff for it. So just like when the Xbox One was coming out, they sent out people development kits so they can make video games for it, so that on launch day they can have video games. So that's the whole purpose of a dev kit. This dev kit only goes for $3,000.
Oh, that's
Only?
it.
Only. That's it.
I got that in my
But
pocket.
really, like if you wanted to make
Find that in the couch.
it's like
Just
pocket
lying
change.
around there.
I have to go check my couch to see how much
Jesus.
money I got. Damn, G. Just to, give some kind of like comparison here. The Oculus Rift, which is another VR headset that came out, was sending dev kits, but their dev kits were only $300. So
Wow.
the HoloLens is 10 times as much. So if my brain works correctly, we can assume that the HoloLens is going to be a lot more expensive than the Oculus Rift. And the Oculus Rift cost how much? $800?
800 bucks.
Yes.
800.
Yeah.
So I don't think VR is something that we're going to be able to play with, man. That sucks.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And now,
Probably
if you
until
can
the next thing
remember,
comes out.
if you remember my comment about the the things that came out last week,
And,
or,
wait.
the $800.
Josh Sim says, end quote, and they can kiss my ass, end quote.
Now, can you? And I'll keep it clean with this one, but can you imagine what I'm going to say with this $3,000 one?
What was the last thing that you bought
How
that
much
was
your
$3,000?
mind go through with that one?
What was the last thing, Jay, that you bought that was $3,000?
My car.
Back in 1987.
Art is old, but come on, it's not that
What
old.
about you, G? When was the last time you spent $3,000 on something?
Bro, I would never spend $3,000 on anything. Like, I'd rather have $3,000 in my pocket than spend it on one thing that's gonna be
Like that
freaking.
one thing
Yeah.
that may or may not work.
$3,000, bro. That's like 3 rents for some
Now,
places.
keep in mind, we're talking about the development kit. So the actual product may be less, but you got people that would like want to buy the
I
dev
doubt
kit just to, because the way it works is that even if you get a development kit, you spend $3,000 on it. As people make stuff for it, you could test it on your development kit, so you can actually play things before other people play it. But you're spending $3,000 just for that,
Yeah.
and these are not finished copies of products. These are just things that people are making. So, Katie, you got $3,000 to spend on something?
No, I wish I did. If I had $3,000, I'd probably sit up and count it all night.
You got a poster for your ceiling.
If I had three,
I'd get a body instead of just a head.
You should get a mannequin.
so yeah, that's coming. And speaking of VR, the PlayStation is now patenting a glove for VR. So here we have come around
Taking it
full
from-
circle. Remember when the Nintendo had the Power Glove?
Yep.
And now
I had
PlayStation
it.
is gonna have the Move Glove. And is it gloves or is it just glove? Like, do you have to just buy the glove?
The Michael Jackson glove? Just
the
one?
one.
'Cause I have this glove.
No, they're gonna sell it to you by fingers. You get like
Oh.
$29.95, $15, and every finger's
And you
DLC.
get it on layaway.
Yeah. Like, all I need is one more finger, the thumb, and I'm good.
And hell, everything will work for him.
I don't know.
Sorry, you can't have that till Christmas.
I don't know, Kate.
But each piece will come out for another year.
Yeah. And like, would you need two gloves to make shit work? Are they just gonna sell the one glove and like daisy chain them together so like the mittens that you used to get?
Yeah, then have a wire, so
that you couldn't.
the whole time.
Like, I don't know, how would you? It seems cool, but like, I don't know. News, right?
Some of my comments are not really PG, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one.
Remember, I called my daughter a dick.
Yeah, you have the beep button.
Okay, well, you guys were talking about the virtual reality on porn.
Yeah.
And now it's coming out with a glove.
Yeah.
Keep
I
going.
don't know where you're going with this. You gotta elaborate.
Really? Because you don't know where she's going with this?
I don't know.
Our viewers don't know.
You guys I'm red right now. Like,
No, yeah, you are. It's good that it's good like the sun is setting and you're part of the world, so like we can't really see you that well. But like why would you need a glove for things?
For porn?
Yeah,
You guys weren't teenagers?
but you could. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. I'm tracking. That's gross.
Hopefully it's waterproof.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Those thoughts and feelings, concerns expressed by Katie Heisenberg do not reflect those of the GamerMind.com or any of its affiliates.
Oh, shit.
So, on to the last bit of news.
She's warming up.
Yeah, right? At the end of the podcast, right? Speaking of things,
She just broke her shyness.
yeah, she just broke it. Now we're gonna the next week we're gonna get the neck.
Back in the old days where I flash an ankle.
Easy there. It was PG.
That's like 4 more episodes.
I don't want people to fucking think that I think my daughter's a dick. I play a lot of jokes and I talk a lot of shit, but I don't want people out there thinking, oh, this guy is calling his daughter. Listen, you saw her. She's the best thing in my life. Like, the reason why I'm doing this podcast is because of her. So fucking, get a life and fucking stop judging me.
It's
Douchebags.
all kids are dicks, so it's okay.
All kids are dicks.
Equally.
They're all named Richard.
We were dicks.
They're all Richards. I'm gonna call them. We're just gonna call them Richards from now on, so people don't get fucking into their feelings. Oh, you called his daughter a dick. Anyway. Speaking of things that are old and crusty, Pokemon. That's a thing. Raise your hand if you like Pokemon. Okay.
That is a
Anybody
big
else?
fat no.
Okay.
Okay. So
No.
2 out of 4 thegamerline.com people's recommend Pokemon. Pokemon is 20 years old today. 20 years old. So
I did not think it was that old. I could swore
yeah.
it didn't come out until '90s.
I don't think it caught on like
Because
a lot since the 90s, but I think, but you know,
When did they actually hit the states though? Because I know they're from Japan or whatever like that, but when did it actually come here? Because I really don't remember that.
there might be a delay. It might have come out in Japan first, just like everything good. But I,
yeah, because I remember I was in like early high school, and I remember watching it before. I would leave my house like super late because I wanted to finish watching an episode of Pokemon,
yeah,
even though I lived like 2 blocks from the school.
yeah. I was. I think I was just. I was a senior in junior high school when that was coming out. But
Because I remember like it out around the time when I was, because I believe I'm older than G, but when it was like what 97, 98, and I'm about ready to finish high school, and I think that's when it was out for when I first saw it.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and it says 1995. I mean, maybe it would have came like maybe 2 years later. That's fine. But yeah, so in honor of the 20-year anniversary of Pokemon, Twitch.tv is airing every episode of the Pokemon series. So if you want to check that
Oh
out,
God,
That's
they're
cool.
doing it for free.
their servers are gonna blow up.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
imagine. I mean, hey, whatever.
I think I'm gonna watch it.
I
You want to hear an interesting fact though about the creator of Pokemon?
do.
He was actually diagnosed with autism.
I did not know that.
Yes,
So
I found that out
the
today.
creator of
But you know what?
Pokemon.
Those are the best
The
creators,
creator of
though.
Pokemon,
Wow,
he was diagnosed with autism since he was little.
nice.
And I think it's pretty cool because kids with autism, they're really smart. They might show it in a different way, but they're very particular with things, and they have quite an imagination. So it's pretty cool to know
I
that.
think that gives people hope that may have children, that people that may have children that have autism
Hmm.
can aspire to do great things. I mean, Pokemon has been around 20 years, so
Yeah.
that's nothing to bat your eye at. So I think that's a great factoid.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I think factoid was a Pokemon. Like it was Factron, then it's Factoid, then it's Factobuzz. No, I'm not, I have no idea.
Like what? What version was this?
Gio, do we have any emails this week?
Yes, we have one email, and it's gonna be from Emmanuel, and he's emailed from California.
Emmanuel from California. I can't do it like Manny does it, but what does Emmanuel
He
have for us?
stated, 1 second, let me open it up real quick. He stated, Jesus, I just had it. Oh, here we go. And it actually has to do with Pokemon. He stated which version of the Game Boy Pokemon, how they had like red, blue, I think Soul Silver. Which version did you think was the best out of that era?
Well, since our other two Pokemon
I guess it goes
fanatics,
to Josh.
yeah, I weigh in on the subject. I think that the one that I liked the most was Pokemon Yellow because that came out a little bit after Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Red. Um, and the only reason why I say that is because I fell off of Pokemon after the 150 became 200, and now they're up to like fucking three fucking thousand. I don't even know. 151 is my core number: Bulbasaur, Squirtle, all that shit. Uh, but I think as a child, the best one that I played or the one that I wanted the most was Pokemon Yellow because that one you can start off with a Pikachu.
Oh, that's true. I've always liked the red one only because I was always fond of like not fond, but I've always liked like Charmander,
Yeah.
and when he finally evolves into freaking Charizard, like that was like my favorite Pokemon besides Pikachu. But yeah, Charmander was I think the red one was my favorite.
You know what always pissed me off about Charizard is that he was a fucking dragon that couldn't fly. But he flew inside the cartoon, but you couldn't teach him fly in the Pokemon game, and that pissed me off because he's a fucking dragon.
Wings.
He has wings. What kind of
And you know
pussy
how
ass
he was
dragon
always
doesn't
a dick
fly?
to Ash?
Yeah, he's always a dick to Ash. Every time he would say, "Oh, Charizard, use Fire Blast," and then Charizard would just look at him like, "Nah," and then fucking
Straight fire in his face.
straight fire in his face. Memories, nostalgia. See what you guys are missing out on, you non-Poke believers.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, Star Wars guy.
So, Gio, where can our fans send our emails, and where can they find us on social media?
You guys want to send us any emails on email on Gmail? Sorry, totally messed
I
up.
like last week when you hit record and it came out like fluid.
Yeah, not this week. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you have any ideas, you can always email us at thegamermind at.
Do you want me to do this one?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
If you guys have any questions, concerns, thoughts, or ideas, you can send us 2 emails. One, and this is not easy. It's the daddycast at thegamermind.com. The daddycast at thegamermind.com. And if you didn't hear me the second time, the daddycast at thegamermind.com. And visit the site, look up our shit. We're funny. We talk about serious stuff, and we have Katie. Hi, Katie.
Headless Katie.
Headless.
Headful Katie.
Bodiless.
Katie. Come on. Well, pay attention.
Something like that.
Jesus. Anyway.
Oh, and also check out our Instagram and our Twitter page at thegamermind_. Same name for both. Check us out. We're always posting stuff on there. Yeah.
And if you'd like to play with us on Xbox Live, my gamer tag once again is LLXX Mercy, MERCY XXLL.
And if you want to play with me, because I'm better, mine is LLXX Onyx ONYX XXLL.
Just watch the sticky bombs.
What about you, Katie?
Like
where can they find you on Xbox Live?
I am Mrs. Chaos 97 with CHAOS.
CHAOS
97.
And what about you, Jay? Where can they find you at
And I am Mr. Chaos, CHAOS 97.
You got that? She's taken.
You guys got similar names.
So do you and I.
Wow, that's an interesting fact.
And we all want to make that clear that we're all on Xbox Live. We do. I have a PS4 account, but I'm not usually on there. And I usually do the majority of my gaming on the Xbox. And with that, do we have any last minute thoughts, questions, concerns, alibis from anybody?
No.
Profound.
Maybe next week.
The only thing I would like to say is it was, it goes back to your... Shut up.
Of course.
It was, I just really like to say appreciation for the Halo community for doing that for for that guy's daughter. So that was very, that was way above and beyond. That was really good. I like that.
Yeah, that
Makes me want to play Halo.
Yeah, just for that fact. I mean, that
Yeah.
I mean, our thoughts and prayers
Go out to the family.
definitely.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I mean, you could ask Gio. I mean, the match was going on, and my character was just looking up at the ceiling, looking for these 2 little girls' names, and our team was getting decimated, and I didn't even care.
Yeah, I even got assassinated while I was trying to
But it gave me chills, and it made me proud to be a gamer, not a Halo fan, not an Xbox fan, not a Sony PlayStation, a Nintendo. It just made me to be proud to be a gamer. So kudos for 343 for doing that. So that'll be it for the Big Baby Daddy Cast episode 13. We thank you for joining us. My name is Josh.
I'm Gio.
Jay.
Katie, you cut me off, asshole. Beep, beep.
Josh, Gio, Jay, Katie. Take care. Keep gaming.